All right, guys, this is Jeff Martin of the High Spot Podcast. You got your AEW on TNT Wednesday Night Dynamite review reaction, as well as NXT on USA. What can you say? Let the Wednesday Night Wars actually begin now. And if you look at the ratings, which I kind of wanted to put off doing this until the ratings came in, let's look at them. 1.4 million viewers for AEW and NXT with 891,000 viewers according to the Wrap. What can you say? It looked like a very significant win there for AEW. When you turn it on and you try looking at both shows, the first thing that stands out is definitely the arena issue, and AEW is in an arena at the in Washington D.C., the Capital One Center, and obviously WWE NXT is at Full Sail. So obviously right there you can tell there's a difference with the attendance, and kudos to AEW for putting on a great show. Looks so professional. It's like I was watching back in the day of WCW Monday Night Show. Looked like a Monday Night Raw. The production was well, and seeing Cody come out there and see him absorb everything, take everything in, was quite the moment. You kind of wish you were like, man, what was he thinking at that time? Probably thinking about his dad, probably thinking about everything he's accomplished, and very inspirational story. He took a chance on himself, and he succeeded, man. A little bit over just 2 years, with everything that he's put together, with All In, with reaching out to Tony Khan, pairing up with the Young Bucks, the Bullet Club, the Elite, everything. It all came to fruition last night in Washington, and of course on NXT. They've had 2 weeks to kind of build it up, and if you're disappointed with the numbers, maybe, but again, this is a marathon. You kind of wanted AEW to come out ahead. You want them to get off to a good start, and again, I repeat this, and I put a lot of emphasis on this. This is a marathon. This is not a sprint. And right now, AEW's gotten ahead. But if you want wrestling, if you're looking for wrestling, then your shows are on Wednesday night. Monday Night Raw, you're going to get the entertainment value. You're going to get some matches. But the quality is definitely on Wednesday nights now. It's going to be your go-to place for wrestling. Impact started, of course, on Tuesday with their programming, and then Friday Night SmackDown will debut tomorrow. We'll have a reaction too, but I kind of want to wait on the ratings. I waited on the ratings because I didn't want to do any predictions like everyone does. Everyone gets off on predictions and predicting what the viewership is going to be. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to get concrete numbers. So now that I saw the numbers, and I take a look at the wrestling and the production value, yes, AEW was ahead. I did not know it was going to be that much ahead, but, in fact, they were. So you had Cody coming in against Sammy Guevara to open it up. I couldn't think of a better guy to open it up than Cody. Again, seeing his the emotion on his face, and then after that, Jericho comes out, attacks Cody after his victory. He's going to Full Gear on November the 9th for the AEW Championship. So just introduces Jericho to the crowd, shows that he is the champion of AEW, and definitely, as we head into the whole show, it definitely was a Jericho heavy show, as it should be, as he is right now the man in AEW. Matt Riddle and Adam Cole had a really good match. Adam Cole retains, and then, Finn Balor returns to NXT. Now you wonder if he's going to go for that NXT championship. So that was good to see. Good to see Finn Balor back. The question was, how is he going to get used? Was he going to go to Raw or get drafted to SmackDown once the draft came along? We know he went to get married. Now he's back, and he's looking for the NXT champion, Adam Cole. Sets up a nice possibility of a match down the road. Then you had Io Shirai defeat Mia Yim. That got a lot of time. Very good match. And I would not mind seeing them to go at it again. We had Kevin Nash and Scott Hall in the audience. Obviously, you're trying to get recognizable, faces on the show. So that's why you had them. So they were there. Then you had Johnny Gargano, Johnny Wrestling against Shane Thorne. Shane Thorne, he's trying to develop a singles career. So we'll see what happens with that. But Johnny Gargano gets the victory. Then you had the Shayna and Candice LeRae match for the NXT Women's Championship, which was a very good match. Candice LeRae, definitely, everyone was rooting for her to beat Shayna Baszler. Very competitive, but Shayna Baszler retains her championship, so it was a very good match. Then you had Pete Dunne and Danny Burch, a little bit of NXT UK kind of action there. We all know Pete Dunne is the bruiserweight. He comes out victorious, but then Damian Priest, formerly known as Punishment Martinez in Ring of Honor, he makes his presence felt and attacks Pete Dunne. And then after that, you had O'Reilly and Fish, the Undisputed Era, the tag team champions, put their titles on the line against the Street Profits. And a very entertaining match, a very good match. Everyone is very high on Montez Ford. They say he's going to be the future, and very, very good on the mic. And we'll see what his association now, since looks like they're going to bring Bianca Belair to the fold, see what she does. That they're husband and wife, so it'll be interesting to see what they do with her. But all in all, NXT was really, really good. You can't really say anything negative about it. It is the wrestling show. NXT, that's what it is, and you're going to get some surprises there. But again, all in all, a very good show. They had 2 weeks to build this up, and next week we'll see Kushida take on Walter. There's other matches set up, so it's really, really good. It's got a good flow, and I really hope they don't panic by seeing the ratings. I think that in time they'll catch up, and I think it'll be much closer than it was the beginning week. So we'll see what happens. Patience is a virtue, but we'll see what happens with the TV ratings. Does Vince, does he panic and choose to spice things up more next week? You don't want to see mixing of more WWE superstars in there. Finn is fine because he has a relationship with NXT, the longest reigning NXT champion, so you can see that. But, try to make it like homegrown, and, you have Adam Cole there representing the brand there, so I think this should be good. Just give it some time. Again, this is a race. This is a marathon, not a sprint. So let's go to AEW on TNT. We talked about Cody defeating Sammy Guevara. Then you had Jericho attack Cody, leaving him there, sending a message before their championship match. You had MJF defeat Brandon Cutler. Pac defeated Adam Hangman Page. Adam Page coming off the loss to Chris Jericho at All Out in Chicago, so he needs to kind of pick it up. But right now, Pac is the guy. You're not going to fly him overseas, to lose to Hangman Page. So Pac gets the victory there in a very, very good match there. And then the match between Rio and Nyla Rose to crown the first ever AEW Women's Champion. I don't know, guys. Does Nyla Rose lose some steam losing to Rio? She's very small in stature. This kind of reminds me of Kairi Sane there defeating like Shayna Baszler. Is it believable? I'll leave that up to you guys. What do I think? I think that, obviously she has ties with Kenny Omega, and so, there's that. But does Riho become a believable champion? We'll have to see how they book her down the road. But some bot spots there, and then obviously, Nyla gets her heat in there by attacking Rio and Michael Nakazawa, and then Kenny Omega with the save there. But we have a new women's champion in Riho, and you know what, Britt Baker They put her on there because she did not win the Casino Battle Royale. She did not win her spot in the match. And she seems to be a future, champion for them. But really not impressed on the mic. She really had a bad time. They tried to set her up a lot. And she, to me, swung and missed. So really, Britt Baker, as far as her mic skills, she's great in the ring. But she's going to have to step it up with her mic skills and her promos, because quite honestly, she bored me to death. And then we go to Kenny Omega and the Bucks against Jericho and his partners Santana and Ortiz, formerly LAX. They made their presence felt. Jon Moxley made his presence known, and he attacked Kenny Omega, put him through a glass table in the back, kind of took Kenny out of commission, and they're setting up their angle for November the 9th, Full Gear in Baltimore. You saw Jack Hager come out, interfere in the match, and that, and then it was all a schmoz, as the trendsetter would say. Dustin Rhodes came out and was, trying to save the Bucks, and then Cody came out, and then it was just annihilation as Jake Hager made his debut. The guy known best as Jack Swagger, We the People, he came out too. So I don't know if it's called Team Jericho or it's going to be called the Alpha Club, but honestly, this team definitely is to be reckoned with, and you saw the annihilation, the destruction of the Elite. It really sets up a storyline there where you have one faction versus another. You gotta have factions in wrestling, I guess. So there you go. That was the week 1 of AEW on TNT, Wednesday Night Dynamite, and NXT on USA. Now, the winners are you, the wrestling fans, because this was a tremendous night, and, the beginning of many, many nights like this. And right now, if you want to say that AEW gets the win here in week 1, then they do, because according to the Wrap, they had 1.4 million viewers compared to NXT's 891,000 viewers. So obviously they get the ratings victory there. But all in all, guys, we all win. It was a really good show. I really can't be negative on everything or anything, because it was just 2 quality wrestling shows, and that's what you want to see. If you start going to the entertainment factor, if you start doing promos out of the blue, and you start doing those things, you open yourself up for more criticism. And I think that with wrestling, you just keep it simple, stupid, and you just go and plug along. And where we plug along is to next week. Wednesday night is a place for wrestling. Again, Monday night made its debut. Monday Night Raw. You have Impact Wrestling on Tuesdays. And you have the Wednesday Night Wars now with NXT on USA. And Wednesday Night Dynamite, AEW on TNT. And then you have Friday Night SmackDown, which again we'll have our post-show reaction to that on bodyslam.net, as well as our regular show that'll be out there on Friday. We preview Hell in a Cell and have a little retrospective there of the top matches in Hell in a Cell history. So, I mean, you have a whole slate of the High Spot podcast on bodyslam.net. So I am Jeff Martin. The Trendsetter will join me for our Hell in a Cell preview show coming up on Friday. Guys, enjoy. And again, I am here and I do it for you, the crew.